Hello, friends, and welcome back to Malicious Compliance Stories. We start today's video with a classic case of, I don't work here, lady. But before we begin, best way to support our channel is to leave comments, like, and subscribe with the turned on bell so you don't miss the new video every single day. Here we go. Waiting in line versus Karen energy. All employees are wearing fancy black clothing while I'm literally wearing a bright green bomber jacket, wild hair day, socks with Birkenstock sandals. My dad and I are waiting in line to be seated at Dan Modern while she impatiently waits for her online order behind us. I don't resemble my white dad very much, and he isn't super talkative. She doesn't seem to realize we were there together when trying to get my attention. Excuse me. Me. Sorry, what? She goes on to angrily complain/rant about her order, how long she's been waiting, and is clearly trying to take her anger out on me. I'm super confused and finally cut her off when I realize why she's telling me all this, quickly saying, I don't work here, but sorry to hear. Oh, she immediately goes back on her phone and coldly refuses to make further eye contact until we got seated. I don't know, she must have been about my age, mid-20s, and embarrassed. She should be. I was clearly a customer. I don't know why anyone would make this assumption outside of racial appearances, but let me know. Wish I could show pics of my attire versus the server's pulled back hair, name tags, uniform. I would have loved a legit apology because at the time it felt like she was still angry at me for existing there. Or maybe I should have embarrassed her further. But my automatic response to others' anger is to people please, especially when it's directed at me. Oh well, hope she learned to chill the F out. She was angry that she was obviously being racist, assuming you work there. Seems to me most racists are really dumb and have zero manners. Sorry this happened. And our second story. Don't bang on my door, Roger. I'll tell it straight. No frills and no names that light up the news. The town is Glenwood Pines, the Colorado foothills. The pines smell and neat streets where strangers still wave. My friend is Daniel. His wife is Laura. I'm Andrew, the one standing to the side with a coffee asking, are we sure we're not overdoing this? And then watching people's masks fall off. That morning, everything was calm. 6:42, the sun was sliding over the roof, and I was still swallowing the first mouthful of espresso in Daniel's kitchen. Then, boom, boom, boom at the door so the little window panes rattled. Open up, they barked. Now! Community code violation. I felt sleep scrape off me. Daniel looked at me. Laura came out of the hallway in a gray track jacket, hair pulled back in a ponytail, eyes cold metal. Who's there? She shouted. I crept up to the peephole. On the porch stood 4 men in navy shirts that said Community Safety in big clunky letters like they'd come straight off a cheap printer. Big Monday gym builds, dark sunglasses, tactical from YouTube. In the middle was Roger Beck, the neighbor 2 houses down, clean-shaven, full of himself, always wearing the half-smile of, I'm in charge here. Daniel Oleshko, he howled, come out, and your wife too. We have an official survey. Daniel cracked the door on the chain. Roger, are you out of your mind? What survey at 7 in the morning? Community Safety Committee, he said, raising a folder. We have reason to believe your fence and garage are being used for, he paused for effect, dangerous activity. Mrs. Laura, you'll need to come with us. Papers, Laura said flatly. A warrant? A council resolution? Anything with a signature and a seal? We don't need papers, another man in a cap interrupted. We act when safety is threatened. Oh, really? Laura raised an eyebrow. Then I act too. Andrew, call the station. Tell them 4 men in fake uniforms are on our porch. One has a weapon. Liar, Roger roared, his hand going to a holster. It's non-lethal. And calm down, ma'am. You'll be fine and we'll go. You're on my porch, Laura said quietly in a way that made the air feel heavier, and I am not going anywhere. One step off that threshold and you'll be face first in my flower bed, understand? One of the guys couldn't hold it and coughed like laughter got stuck. Another glanced over. 2 neighbors were already peeking from curtains. All right, that's enough. Roger stepped back half a pace. We'll return, and not alone. They closed the door. Silence hit like a cloth. I looked at Laura. Who are they, for God's sake? Self-appointed inspector, she said, lips tightened. And Roger, she pressed her jaw, He acts like someone's paying him to cause trouble. Daniel, is it on camera? Yes, Daniel nodded. Front porch, street, and audio. Good. Laura took a breath. We're going to have a lot of visitors today. Know this, in Glenwood Pines, the HOA's almost a religion. Neat, clean, lawn heights all the same. Daniel and Laura replaced a rotten fence 2 months ago with a 6-foot wrought iron one because the dog lunges at anything that moves. Permits? Yes. Boundaries? Measured. But Roger, head of the safety committee, couldn't tolerate it. From my kitchen window, I can't see the street. Oh, the tragedy of the century. That very night, Roger organized an unscheduled inspection at 2 a.m. Knock, knock. Flashlights, whispers, Daniel to the window, me behind him, Laura already on the steps. Open up, Roger banged his fist. This is urgent. Community risk. Let the community sleep. Laura clicked the lock and opened the chain. Papers on the table. No? Goodbye. I'm an official, he screeched in a falsetto. You're nobody at this hour, she leaned in, and right now you're refusing to leave private property on record. Andrew? I'm calling now, I said without lowering my phone camera. Enough, the man in the cap shouted, tugging Roger by the sleeve. Let's go. They rolled away into the dark. Laura leaned her shoulder blades against the door. I blurted out, Tell me, Laura, who are you? She swallowed. Chief of the city police, a B. Until yesterday, I wanted to be just Laura from the neighborhood, but this story drags a badge into the light. Wow, I said, so we've been playing hide and seek. I was protecting Daniel, she said curtly, and now I'll protect all your neighbors starting tomorrow morning. Morning, she's already at the laptop. I'm with coffee. Daniel has a screwdriver because he keeps nervous hands busy in the garage. Here's one lead. Roger Beck never served anywhere. Laura clicks through databases. No guard license, no volunteer registry. And look, she opens a business registry on the big screen. There's a neighborhood development fund, Director Beck, and 2 LLCs under Oscar Coyle. Who's that? Aha. Oscar Coyle is a realtor tied to property flipping investigations in Nevada. Perfect. You think they're, Daniel began. The usual play, Laura said. Fines, inspections, fake legal letters. They harass people, and then a realtor rescues the house. They need a story. They manufacture it. Are you sure? I've seen it twice, she said. What do we do? I asked. We build a trap. They need a signal that we have something valuable. We'll give them something, on camera, under watch. She typed a message in the HOA group. Neighbors, please remain calm. There may be an official-looking delivery at the Oleshko residence. This is a training item for the city police. Arrival time undisclosed, no details. Enough to make Roger bite. That evening, our camera, Maple, caught Roger at the fence. Phone up, he's reaching for the window to take a picture of a marked inventory box. Got it, Laura said calmly. Step 1. Laura, Daniel licked his lips. What if he comes back with a gun? Then we won't be polite, she said evenly. For now, we wait for his scene. She wasn't wrong. 2 days later, every mailbox had a flyer. Emergency HOA meeting, security issues, mandatory attendance, 5 p.m. on the lawn across the street. We arrived 20 minutes earlier, me with the camera, Daniel with the folding stool, Laura with a small speaker and laptop. About 30 neighbors. Their faces had that civic readiness. We won't fight, but we'll watch. Roger rolled up as if to take a stage, dark polo, fake badge, 2 assistants with tablets. Good afternoon, community, he boomed, pausing for applause. There was none. We are gathered because some residents are, he left the word hanging, blatantly violating neighborhood standards. Papers, Laura said. What? He faltered. Papers, mandate, badge number, warrant for inspection. Put them on the table, she said as she set a white plastic folding table and placed a folder on it. This is confidential, he raised his voice. I will not report to, he swallowed the word, a woman. Listen, her voice leveled like a string. Here's the official roster of city officers. The screen displayed an alphabetized list. Beck, Roger, ? Not there. Click. Here's an Amazon order for a bronze police badge delivered to your address 8 months ago. Click. Here's video of you at 5:47 a.m. taking pictures through our window of labeled police training inventory. Your applause, Roger? Fake. Montage. His face flushed red. She fabricated this. Here's audio, Laura said and played it. We'll take them before the shipment arrives, right? Yes, I'll arrange it. Roger's voice, clear as day. You have no right, he yelled, stepping up. The council will speak to you. Sit down, Laura said. Don't tell me what to do, he snapped, hand jerking toward the holster. Everyone quiet. Time slowed. Someone whispered, gun. Phones were raised. Roger lifted the weapon low but pointed. Laura did not blink. Roger, you have just pointed a firearm at a public official performing duty, she said calmly, not raising her voice. That is your last mistake today. You're nobody, he lunged. What followed felt like a montage from the best action cut. A step aside, a quick strike to the wrist, the barrel tipped up, a dull bang in the sky, a child scream. Laura was behind him, shoulder down, her hand on the grip, a knee between his shoulder blades, the click of a plastic tie. 3 seconds and the head of safety was face down in the dandelions. Roger Beck, her voice was a hammer, you're detained for impersonation, making threats, and fraud as part of a conspiracy. Lie still and be quiet. They're with me, he spat, twitching. Coyle, you won't prove anything. We will, Laura said. Andrew, call dispatch. Daniel, gather witness contacts. You two, she looked at his assistants, hands where I can see them. Don't even think about running. They bolted like rabbits slipping between cars. A few neighbors hesitantly chased them. Within minutes, sirens came. Captain Ruby Mendoza arrived, small but with eyes that had seen it all. She looked at Laura, at me, at Roger, and said with relief, "Thank you for saving me a week's work," she murmured. "We've had tabs on them for 3 months." Does Coyle have an office? Laura asked. Print orders? Safes? In an hour, Mendoza nodded. Let's wrap this up. They hauled Roger into a squad car. He spat toward us. This is just the beginning. You have no idea how deep this goes. We do, Laura answered, and that's why you're going first. What followed was paperwork and film. A search of the Neighborhood Development Fund office turned up boxes of fake fines, form letters from lawyers, toy stamps, flash drives listing target houses, a spreadsheet of vulnerable residents, veterans, single mothers, those behind on mortgage payments, emails from osc.coyle with notes, increased pressure, arranged with insurer, placed 2 men overnight. The assistants were caught out of town, one sang like a canary. We were just scaring people, he confessed. Roger said it had to be serious. The other cracked after the gun video. Coyle brought the weapon. He said, make it convincing. The news smelled of frozen pizza and gunpowder, HOA extortion scheme, fake inspectors. Cameras came to our street, and I felt like an extra in a series, but without a second take. At the first meeting of the reconstituted HOA board, Laura took the mic. She didn't shout, she didn't raise her voice. Community isn't about matching grass blades, she said. It's about no one walking into a stranger's home at night and saying, I'm in charge. You all have the right to ask, show me your papers. You have the right to say no. You have the duty to call when you see fake authority. There was a ripple of applause. I looked around. The same neighbors who'd kept their heads down a week ago now stood a little straighter. Laura, Daniel whispered next to me, you did good. Not me, she answered quietly. Cameras, witnesses, and not letting fear make choices for us. Weeks went by. Oscar Coyle was photographed in handcuffs in Denver. The lower third scrolled allegations, extortion, conspiracy, fraud. Rumors spread that their network reached into the neighboring counties. Laura printed late into the night. I asked once, do you sleep? Not much, she smiled. But I'm finally not silent. One morning, a postcard without a return address appeared in the mailbox, a photo of a suburban street from another state. On the back, you stopped one, there are more. She read it, slipped it into a file, and called a secure line. We have a lead in Wyoming. Give me a day to cross-check lists. Daniel opened the garage, and the dog ran the length of the new fence like its own runway. I caught myself thinking that peace isn't the absence of noise. It's when noise has a boundary you don't let someone cross. If an explosive-voiced host wanted the sharp lines, "Stop, who told you?" Roger had raged the first time. "Papers on the table, Beck," Laura cut him off. "You don't have the right to order me," he croaked. "I do, I am the law," she replied softly, and for the first time he blinked. "Everyone stay put," he tried to command as he reached for the weapon. "Put it down, you've scared yourself enough today," she said, and the barrel thudded in the grass. "You ruined everything," he howled as they lifted him. "No, Roger," she said, "you ruined a charade," and the applause deflated the tension like a softening sky. I saw fear fold in people's eyes and then straighten into dignity. I saw Mary, who had walked around our house for 3 days, bring a pie and say, "Sorry I stayed quiet. I saw children asked to be shown that move with the hand, and Laura teaching them not to break wrists, but to shout sharp, precise things. Stop, state your threat, describe clothing, then step back." God-level arrogance and fair punishment. Hey guys, thank you all for watching the video. I'll see you in the next one.